What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I'm here with my review for Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Now, if you have not seen this yet, I think you should know the drill by now. Come on back, because it's going to be spoilers, because I don't think you can talk about this without talking about spoilers at all. I've been asked a lot throughout other reviews I've done, just on social media in general, was I going to review this? And I wanted to. I've always wanted to. The thing was, I was planning on doing this with Winston A. Marshall, and he ain't here. He ain't here. You know what I'm saying? So it's me, myself, and I doing this one. But nonetheless, you have other reviews. You can catch the two of us together. The DC animated universe has been one of the most solid and consistent things I've ever seen. And yes, I say that even over the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The DC animated universe has each and every outing seemingly outdone itself, and this was its endgame, if you will. This was its Infinity War and Endgame rolled into one. And it didn't disappoint. The fact you see in the very beginning, again, I told you I was going to be spoilers. The fact that Darkseid learned how to hack a mother box, and i.e. hack Cyborg, to find out the Justice League's whole plan, and then you don't see anything at first. You just see them go to do the mission to go to Apocalypse, and then you just see shit go wrong, and all of a sudden we get 2 years later, and you see the world is destroyed. And one of the biggest things you see throughout all this, when you start getting the flashbacks of what exactly happened during that battle, is the most violent shit I think I've ever seen. I know that Warner Brothers Animation is known for doing good violence and bringing it forth in a cartoon format. It is an adult level format, and they do a great job at it. I understand, like I said earlier, the movies themselves have been phenomenal, what they have done with the structure and the story, but god damn the violence. Like, to see people get the shit just get destroyed, people ripped in half, and you're just watching it, you're like, yo, this is happening. To watch the way Apocalypse incapacitated Superman, because you see him before you see the flashback, you see the kryptonite S on his chest and the green in his eyes and everything, and then to see that, yo, he damn near just liquid tattooed this man where it was never coming out of his blood. Like, that's petty as fuck. He made Batman his bitch, like, and Wonder Woman. Like, you watch how he burnt up the planet, how he burnt up Oa, when John Stewart was trying to all of a sudden recharge the lamp. This was later, though. You see Stewart trying to recharge his ring in the giant lantern battery, and he burns the fuck up out of him. Between that, the Suicide Squad, which, let me say this, that Suicide Squad version we got was fucking hilarious. I honestly would have loved to have that iteration of the Suicide Squad in a movie. Now, we're getting close to it, I believe. We're getting King Shark. We're going to have Harley. I don't think we're going to have Shiva. We may have Captain Boomerang fully. I know Jai Courtney's in it. Might not have him for the full. But, yo, before I go any further into this Suicide Squad, yo, can we talk about the fact that, speaking of people's bitches, more so bottom bitch, King Shark had John Constantine as his bottom bitch? Like, yo, we've always known about Constantine's bisexuality, if you will. It's never been a secret, but to find out he fucked King Shark, I think that was the stretch. Also, we did get the Constantine-Zatanna relationship a lot of people have been wanting, a lot of people have been seeing, and I think that's how they tease it, in a sense, in Legends of Tomorrow. If you don't know, I'm not saying Zari is Zatanna direct. I'm not saying that, but again, it's a Z. You know, we always have these things that do that. Like, we're going to give it to you close enough, but not the exact thing. And I think that's what it was. Speaking of King Shark is a shark. Like, that was all he said until that final battle with Captain Boomerang. He said, it's been an honor fighting by you. And Captain Boomerang, like, what the fuck are you shitting me? Like, there's so much in this to see how meticulous and dangerous Darkseid is, how much he has punked Batman and Luthor and whatnot. And it's amazing to watch Trigon torment Raven throughout the entire movie, saying basically, bitch, if you don't let me go, I'm going to kill your boyfriend. I'm going to murder him. And This is one of those movies that no matter what, it kept you into it. You don't necessarily have to be a comic book fan to enjoy this. You don't really need to know the full story in this case, but it helps because especially how they officially have wrapped up everything with it. With wrapping up Flashpoint to making a new Flashpoint, if you will. From Barry saving his mom, basically being the reason all of this has happened. You know, him saving his mom, then trying to refix it, and all this has happened because they even acknowledge it, to having him try to reset the world and everybody disappears at the very end. That's what the ending is. He's resetting the world again. So basically, the apocalypse war never happens. All of the heroes will come back to life, and they are restarting it with Superman Man of Tomorrow. I think this was so I enjoyed, one of the best things I enjoyed, like I said, the violence and the action, it was well done. The fight between Trigon and Darkseid and how he treated Darkseid like his bitch. When Trigon was whooping on him in his own form and was like, yo, I think he was in the form of, he was in Superman. He used Superman as a host. When he said, you one of the new gods? Huh, I'm not pleased at all. And proceeded to whoop this shit out of Darkseid. Like, we've seen Darkseid is the DC equivalent, as many will say, to Apocalypse, i.e. Apocalypse is his home planet. But to see that ass whooping that Darkseid had to take, and it was just surreal. I like the fact that also Constantine becomes the unlikely hero. You know, we see earlier that he runs away from the fight when Zatanna is murdered. And you don't realize until that moment later, when after Constantine's dead, after he gets his motherfucking neck snapped, that Zatanna actually made him run away. The spell we see in the very beginning of the movie, where we see Constantine waking up repeating it or hearing Zatanna say it, she's actually putting him under a spell, and he thinks it's just the word remember and it's something else. There's so many layers in this shit. I honestly have said this before, and I will continually say this. I always wish that they would give the animated writers the feature films. I understand that, yes, there is a bit of a difference. It is somewhat similar to writing a live action comic book. But the stories, the way they are done, the way they are executed, sometimes, the regular movies just pale in comparison. Don't get me wrong. I've liked the new track that DC has been on for its feature films. I'm not going to lie. I like Shazam. I gave Aquaman credit. Of course, Wonder Woman is its own thing. And where we're going for, I even like Birds of Prey. I don't have a problem with them as a whole. But can you imagine the level of elevation they would reach if the animated writers were writing those movies? Like, that would be something within itself. To see Etrigan, to see how he was so beat up and despondent with the battle that he stopped rhyming. There's these story arcs all around with multiple characters that we're still seeing, and it just works because it grips you. There's no point in any character where you're like, fuck, I don't care about them. Listen, I didn't give a shit about Lady Shiva. Her being with the League, her, being the right hand to Damian after everything had happened. I didn't think shit about it, right? Didn't think nothing of it. Until she got blown dead in her shit point, just here, you saw it. And I'm like, whoa. But that was the level of violence, the level of risk, the level of the danger they had to show you within this movie. You had to see exactly what was going on in every level. Again, there's just so much to watch. Damian Wayne, the way he got fricasseed by fucking Darkseid, but then to have that emotion to his dad, with his father, to have Batman, to him being actually the conduit that helps to snap Batman out of Apocalypse's control. There's just so much within this movie. I mean, the only way probably the best to do is go bit by bit by bit, which I am not about to do, not with this one. I'm glad we got this. This was 22 movies, I believe it was? 22 movies. All hitters. All hitters. There's not been one time when a DC animated movie has come out and I've watched it and I've been like, well, maybe this didn't work exactly as I thought it would work. Maybe this didn't play out as well as the other ones did. They all did. And remember, we saw consistently about the multiverse. It was the multiverse consistently because DC has been known for that. That was one of the things. Now, granted, I know some people will bring up Crisis on Infinite Earths, what we saw in the Arrowverse series, but that's a completely different monster, if you will. Completely different monster. So, overall, if I had to give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm giving this joint a 5. This thing did so much to where it closed off a story, closed off a chapter, giant chapter, if you will, closed off a saga, and now has opened the door for a new saga to take place and begin and see that. And also, like I said, it gave you emotions to invest in, to care about the Suicide Squad, to care about just members like Captain Boomerang, to watch Harley Quinn be as badass as she was, to Lois Lane being a G. Like, Lois Lane was a G. So even told, like, Clark Kent would be like, Superman be like, yo, I love you. And she'd be like, nigga, I know. Nigga, go do what you got to do. Like, she would be like, stop being a bitch, basically, and go save this world. I know you love me. That's a given. Like, it is what it is. But go do what you got to do. And I think we forget that. Like, Lois is a G. She can handle alone. She's always been strong. And we've gotten that in even the DC feature films. I will not take that away. She's elevated, if you will, from being that damsel in distress. And so you see that in this. This movie is dope. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. If you stuck through this entire review not caring about spoilers, but was like, yo, wonder what he says and if I should see it, you should definitely go check it out. Definitely rent it, buy it, download it. I bought it because I want to watch it again. So I want to know what you thought about it, though, in the comments below. And while you're at it, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, man. Go ahead, help me get them numbers up. I'm trying to grab them numbers up. I'm trying to finally hit this 6K. Because with your abilities and your help and you people being the great people you are, I can hit 10K in no time with this. So please go ahead and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video, all right? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. That's MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. You really should. And join my supervillain squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. If you want to support, show love, go over there, support, and check out some of my stand-up clips, some of my wrestling matches, and a whole lot more. Also, check out the Mad Titan podcast everywhere you get your podcast from, because I get you caught up on everything that is happening in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. It is barbershop talk for nerds, so come on in the convo, all right? I will holler at y'all a little bit later. Take care. I'm out of here. Bye.